Shalena. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I thought I would do the get to know me tag. I did do this last year and I made it private because I wanted to redo it with better things about myself. Someone just texted me. So here are the updated get to know me questions. The first one is, where did you grow up and where do you currently live? I grew up in California and I currently live in California in the exact same house I grew up in. So I've lived in the same town for 22 years now. It'll be 22 years in July of next year, so 21 and a half years now. I used to live in a really small town near the national park where I live. I lived there until I was 2, and then we moved here the summer I turned 3. Well, the July I turned 3. My birthday's end of July, July of 2000. How tall are you? I am just barely 5 foot, so I'm short. I don't think I've grown since I was 13. Last time I remember being measured when I was 13, turning 14, and I'm pretty sure I've stayed the same height since, because I haven't grown to my knowledge since I was 13. So it's been a while. Funniest moment throughout high school. Okay, I was thinking about this one. So I had this friend group, and one of my friends, his name was Tyler, and he was like my big crush in high school. Instead of saying son of a bitch, his phrase was son of a biscuit. And I remember one time, I don't remember what I'd said to him to make him say that to me, but he said son of a biscuit. And my junior's response was, do you want to check? And then I just remember we were outside, outside high school. They had like an outdoor patio area. He just like curled up into a ball in the middle of the tables. I was just rocking back and forth saying no. It was so funny. Everyone who was around us heard me. We were all laughing our heads off. It was absolutely hysterical. And then my funniest moment throughout college was my first year of college. I took a biology class. It's like the general biology class. And I remember Dr. Nern was my teacher, and she wanted us to come up front, and she asked for volunteers. And so I jumped up and I said, I volunteer as tribute, because Hunger Games was a big thing. And the entire class cracked up laughing. I've done that multiple times since then, and I think I heard that from a Vine, actually. I never really watched Vines, but I remember in my communications class we're watching a compilation of Vines, and that was one of them. So I had to use that at some point. What is your favorite drink? Tea. Speaking of, that reminds me, I got this like little tea thingy. It comes with like a strainer for loose leaf tea. I seen this at a Teasers in San Luis Obispo. And I took a picture of it because I didn't have $25 to spend then, but Christmas money. So my favorite drink is tea. Right now I'm having the Yorkshire Gold bedtime tea with nutmeg and vanilla. It's a really strong tea, but I really like it. You're wearing a perfume. What scent is it? I tend to rotate between Love Letter by Skylar, French Lilac by Pacifica, or Ty Lily by Go Be Lovely. There's also Queen Bee and Daydreamer by Good Chemistry that I use too. What are your life goals? My life goal, as all of you guys who know me, is to be an actress. It's been my dream job since I was a little kid. But what I would like with my acting career is to be able to be in movies that help people in some way. Because there's so many movies that I can think of and actors that have helped me in my own life. And I want to be able to give back in that kind of way. I want to be in movies that help people get through a hard thing or inspire them in some way. And I want to be the role model for future people that my favorite actors are role models for me. What sport do you play or have you played? I don't play sports anymore because I am out of school and there are no real sports for adults to play anyway. The ones I did t-ball when I was 5. I was the only kindergartner on the team, or the only 5-year-old, I can't remember. But I spent most of the time in outfield playing with the grass because all the focus was on the first graders. Very annoying. I did volleyball in 6th grade, and that's how I met my good friend Ashley. I almost did tennis freshman year of high school, but it was either tennis or ballet, and ballet won over everything else. And then dance was my big support that I did all throughout high school. Do you speak any languages, and how well? I know Hungarian. I am not even close to being fluent, and I don't ever claim to be fluent in Hungarian. I can read and write it semi-okay. Occasionally I will have to like copy a text and put into a translator app that I have. That's a very good translator, by the way. Just to make sure I know what they said. Because sometimes my brain will tell me it's something else, and then the entire sentence is messed up. Not as good speaking it because I don't really have anyone to practice speaking it with. There's a woman named Sheila who went to one of the churches I used to go to, but she passed away a couple years ago, and she was the only Hungarian I knew where I could actually speak the language to. So I don't have anyone I could speak it with anymore. I did have one time at a hotel I worked at, we had people from Hungary come, and I was able to introduce myself to them in Hungarian, which was really cool. And that was the year I started learning it, so that was 2015. And they were mind blown that I could pronounce it correctly, being a not native Hungarian speaker. It's a really hard language for English speakers to know. I think it's like one of the top 4 languages that's hard for a native English speaker to learn. Selene vagyok, Odvendek. My name is Selene. Nice to meet you. I can sing in Hungarian though, just remember that. There are 2 musicals, Rebecca and Romeo and Juliet. In Hungarian, I can sing in it. Questions? Are you single or taken? I am very single. I don't really have an interest in dating anyone because I do plan to be moving out of the area in a couple years. Between this coming year, 2022 and 23, I want to be out of the town I live in, and I would only want to date someone locally if they would be willing to move with me. But if they're not planning to move out of this area, then it's just a waste on my part and on theirs to be in a relationship. Because I have no intentions of staying in this area any longer than I have to. And so my biggest thing is I just don't want a relationship to tie me down in this area longer than it needs to be. Because like I said, I've been here for 21 years, and there's really nothing for me that this town has to offer anymore. It's mostly a retirement home. A lot of the people are either 8-9 years younger than I am, or, my goodness, why are people texting me? They're either really younger than I am or much older than I am. So there's really no one I know my age, and all the people my age are married, and I am obviously not. So that's kind of my reasoning for that. How long was your longest relationship? So I had a relationship my freshman year of high school that was an entire school year. And then that same person moved to Florida. We got back together, I want to say January of my senior year, and we broke up spring break of my first year of college. So it was about 18 months for that relationship. And then that was like my longest consistent relationship. And then in college, I dated someone on and off for about 2 years. What is your go-to hairstyle? The way my hair is right now. Don't really do much with my hair. I braid it at night. I put in like 2 Dutch braids or a single braid. Take it out in the morning. That's it. I prefer to spend most of my time doing my makeup over my hair. That's just who I am. I'm not very good with doing my hair other than like braids here and there. Sometimes I'll put in like a half up, half down ponytail if I'm feeling fancy. But I just prefer to keep my hair down. I used to wear in a braid a lot in high school. I would do a fishtail braid to the side on my way to school because it's about 15 minutes from my house. So yeah, my go-to hairstyle is down. Do you use a PC or Mac? I've always been a Mac person. All of my laptops have been Macs. My dad had a MacBook Pro, and then when he would get a new one, I would get his old one. So we did that like trade-off until I graduated high school and I got my own laptop. Which is also a MacBook Pro, but like a really old one from 2015. And then all of my smartphones have been iPhones. What are your morning and evening routines? This is something I'm working on in January, is getting an actual set morning and evening routine down. And yes, I will film it and post them on YouTube once I actually have a routine down. The only like consistent thing I can say about my routine in the morning right now is I get snuggles with my dog for about 10 minutes, and that's usually when I'm like checking my phone or listening to the audiobook that I listen to at night, and then I go downstairs and I make myself tea. And then as far as like my night routine goes, the only consistent thing is I try to go to bed by midnight. Rarely ever happens, but I try. Tell us one thing about you that we don't already know. Okay, this is an interesting one because this is something I've just figured out about myself this year. Hang on, I need a tissue because tea spilled a little bit. There we go. So the thing that you guys want to know about me is that I am asexual. And that basically just means I don't experience sexual attraction towards people. Whenever I've liked someone, especially recent years, it's never been, I want to date them, I can see myself having sex with them. It's, I want to be their best friend. And I didn't really know what that meant for me until I was doing research on Yelena Belova. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with her. She's great as a fictional character. And she's asexual and aromantic, so she doesn't experience sexual or romantic attraction. And so in doing research about the character and thinking about my own experiences, that's how I came to the conclusion that I am asexual. What is your favorite Netflix show? A show actually by Netflix would have to be The Babysitter's Club. I grew up reading the series. Stacey McGill has been one of my favorite characters since I was in probably middle school. I think Netflix has done a fantastic job with the show. It is A++ perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better modernized TV show with The Babysitter's Club. All of the diabetes content is accurate, which I think is amazing because most of the time when diabetes is in the media, it's not accurate at all. And they follow the whole diabetes gives you, sugar gives you diabetes myth and all of the other BS that is not at all true. And I love how the TV show, the new one, doesn't do that. Stacey McGill in one of the episodes uses the same instant pump my friends use. So I just think that Netflix did a really good job with that show. So it had to be The Babysitter's Club. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? So I'm not a really big ice cream person because I find it too sweet and I don't do dairy. But if I had to choose like a dairy ice cream, it would have to be cookies and cream or strawberry. But the brand Oatly, which is the oat milk brand that I use, they have ice cream as well, and their strawberry Oatly oat milk ice cream is chef's kiss for a non-dairy ice cream. And I've tried like the Ben & Jerry's almond milk ice creams and stuff, and they're disgusting. But this one's amazing, so I would highly recommend that. What is your dream job as a kid? It was either to be a doctor or an actress. An actress, I think I've wanted to be one since I was around 5 or 6. I can't remember if it was The Wizard of Oz when I saw it live when I was 5, Sleeping Beauty also when I was 5, or Sound of Music when I was 6. Somewhere in that age group between like 5 and 7, I'd say, is when I really figured out I wanted to be an actress. I probably have to say around 5 or 6 because I got really into the woods when I was 7 and I remember acting it out a lot. And so that was really like what started me wanting to be an actress. So that was always my dream job. I've always loved medical stuff. Anyone who's known me my entire life can attest to that. My babysitters growing up can attest to the fact that I love medical stuff. We would always play a doctor or play school and this girl has a big secret, which is some medical condition. I was a weird kid. But I always wanted to be either an actress or a doctor. And I think it's really cool as an adult that I can actually say I'm doing my dream job. I think my inner child would be very happy with that because I know the adult me is. Who's your celebrity crush? Florence Pugh. Everyone knows this about me. I freaking love her. She's amazing. I actually have a Yelena poster that my brother gave me for Christmas that's right above my mirror. So it's like she's looking down on me all the time. It's great. I've also really started to love Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, I always loved Sabrina Carpenter, but even more so over like the past couple of days. What other actors, celebrity crushes do I have? Kristen Stewart. I've loved Kristen Stewart since I was 13. Katerina Scorsone from Grey's Anatomy. Kate Beckinsale. I loved her since I was 15. Yeah, I'd say those are the main ones. And like I've mentioned before, I want to be their best friend. I want to be friends with them because I think that would be the coolest thing ever to be like, Florence Pugh is my best friend. I mean, how freaking cool would that be? Caitlin Kinnunen, that's another one. Yeah. Pet peeves. My biggest pet peeve is desperate people. I cannot stand people who are desperate. It drives me crazy. Especially when I don't text back right away, and I'm pretty quick at texting back unless I'm busy or dealing with things or whatever, and then sometimes I'm a lot slower to text. But if I don't text you back right away, please don't send me like 20 trillion texts saying, where are you? What's going on? I wish you would talk more. What happened? Did I say something wrong? I have a life, and people should know that I'm not connected to my phone 24/7. And to give anyone time to text back. So one of my really good friends has said to me quite a few times is that she never expects a text back. And I'm starting to tell other people that. I will text you back eventually, but it might not be right away. Just don't be desperate, please, because the more desperate you seem to me, the less I'm going to talk to you. And the longer I will take to respond to your message, even if I see it right away, if you seem desperate to me, I'm not going to text you, because that's my biggest pet peeve. Especially when my depression gets bad, I tend to just like ignore all of my texts and all of my like DMs and stuff. And that's when the whole desperation part gets really annoying. Because sometimes I don't want to talk about why I haven't been texting or anything like that. Anyway, what is your favorite color? Pink, like the dusty rose pink that you would see back here is one of them. Blood bag red, and I have to be very specific when I say that. Because if I just say blood red, people would think like blood drop red. I'm talking about like that really dark red you would see in a blood bag or in a vial after you get blood drawn. That shade of red. Burgundy, another example of the same shade. I also really like the color of my sweater. I would say it's like a muted shade, sage green. What did I say? Shade green. Sage green. And then lavender gray. Lavender gray is a color that's pretty new to me, but it is probably one of my absolute favorite colors right now. If my backpack were within a grabbable distance, I would show you my laptop case, which is lavender gray. Do you know your personality type? I do. I am an INFJ and a 4-wing 3. INFJ is the Myers-Briggs personality type, and 4-wing 3 is the Enneagram type. I do have a video about my Enneagram type, type 4, that I will link in the eyes somewhere for you guys to watch. What are your favorite values in friends? I want friends who support me and don't push me to answer things that I don't feel comfortable talking about. And I value friends who listen before they speak, because sometimes when I need to talk to a friend, I just need to talk and not be talked back to. I need to vent. And I think when friends listen to understand, not listen to respond, that is a really great value that I have. I also value it when friends don't force their beliefs on me, because I've grown up with friends forcing their religious beliefs and political beliefs on me, and I can't stand that. I really can't. We're all singular individuals, and our political beliefs and our religious beliefs should reflect that. We're not carbon copies of each other. So respect my values as I will respect yours. I won't ever push my beliefs on you, and I really would hope you would show me the same respect and not do it back. Biggest struggle you overcame? My depression. My depression was a freaking monster in college. It was really, really bad. We're not going to go into details because I don't want to go into details and you guys don't want to hear how bad it was either. But I didn't think I would graduate college. Honestly, my depression was that bad. So that was honestly the biggest struggle I had to overcome, was my depression and my anxiety. And graduating college was probably the biggest fuck you to my depression that I've ever had. Yeah. Who is your role model? I've mentioned this before. It's Florence Pugh. And Yelena Belova, I guess we could say she's a role model too. what I like about Florence Pugh and why she's a role model to me is she said in an interview when she first came to Hollywood, she was asked to lose weight for a role and she declined the role because she wasn't going to lose weight for roles like that. And I really admire that. That she's confident with her body and won't lose weight for roles. So like when she got Yelena in Black Widow, she said she'll get fit for the role, but she won't lose weight for it. And I've started to, going to start adapting that to myself as well. When I actually get out to Hollywood and start acting, I'm not going to lose weight for roles. Yeah, because I don't think that's right to make actresses lose weight for roles. And Yelena is my role model because she just goes for things. Maybe it could be because of her Red Room training and being chemically subjugated for so long, but she goes for things and she doesn't think twice about it or have any self-doubt. And I like that, and I like how human she's become through Hawkeye. She's funny, she cracks me up at Hawkeye, and made me cry a lot too. Yeah. I keep saying, yeah, a lot. I'm gonna stop saying that. Do you save birthday cards or other greeting cards? I do save birthday cards where there's a really sweet message in it. I still have birthday cards from when I turned 13, and that was quite a while ago. That was 11 years ago. So yeah, I do save birthday cards. Not so much other greeting cards unless there's a sweet message or something I want to save. It just depends. What is your favorite TV show quote? Okay, I've got two. The first one is from Grey's Anatomy. I want to say this was the episode where Amelia operates on... I am blanking on her name. But it's the surgeon who is teaching Arizona how to be a fetal surgeon. Gina Davis is the one who played her. Can't remember the character's name. But if you watch Grey's Anatomy, you know what episode I'm talking about. Okay, that was weird. The video cut out on me. I have my computer right in front of me. Gina Davis, Grey's Anatomy character. Dr. Nicole Herman. There you go. It's the episode where Amelia operates on Dr. Herman. The quote goes, "If you don't look for light in the darkest of places without stopping, even when it seems impossible, you will never succeed." As harsh as that quote sounds, I believe it to be true. Especially in the darkest of places, you need to be looking for the light. And I've always just really loved that quote. I've loved it since I saw that episode. Yeah. There I go with the yes again. Annoying. And then the other quote is a Yelena quote from Hawkeye. It's actually the quote in my Instagram bio. Which is, "We are defined by what we do, not by nice words." And I think that's another way of saying that actions sometimes speak louder than words. And like, yeah, your words have an effect on people and they can really hurt, but it's also people's actions that are important. So actions speak louder than words, and I think that's just another way of saying that. Do you remember your first email address and was it embarrassing? I do remember my first email address because I had that for quite a while. It was also controlled by my parents, so they had to approve all of the email addresses that I would send emails to. But my first email address was Twihart. I got that was my 13th birthday present, was an email address from my dad. So funny. And I was going to Twilight that year. That was the year I started becoming into Twilight. I think I read the first book maybe a couple weeks before I turned 13. Then I think I had heard that Twihart was the fandom name for the Twilight fans. It's actually Twihard. Found that out much later. But Twihart was my first email address. I wouldn't say it was embarrassing. It's funny to me now. What would be the first thing you would do after getting home from work or school? When I would get home from college, I would say the first thing was just putting my laptop away, putting my bags away. Sometimes it would just be lying in bed for a little while because I would be really, really tired. Oftentimes I would be putting my mail away if I would pick up mail before I got back to my dorm. What else would I do? Then those would be the main things. Sometimes I would give my dad a call. I talked to my dad a lot in college when I was living outside of the house. When I would come home from work or high school, usually when I came home from high school, I was coming home from dance because I would go to dance right after school ended. And the same thing for work. The first thing I would do is take a shower. Because when you're dancing for 5 hours every single day, you're a hot, sweaty mess, even with the little breaks we would have. And especially after work, I would be all gross and sweaty, especially with COVID going on. So the first thing I would do is take a shower. And then my last question is what is the last thing you ate? Carrot soup. My mom makes this really good carrot soup that I've been obsessed with since I was really little. I am the weirdo that just eats it cold. I don't know why that is. I just think it tastes better to me cold. Cold with a slice of bread. Sometimes I would toast the bread and put butter on it. Sometimes it was a bread and butter sandwich and carrot soup. So that was last thing I ate, and for the funsies, last thing I drank was my tea. And that completes this Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned some things about me you didn't already know. Even though I'm pretty sure the 10 people who watch my YouTube videos are my friends who really do know me. But hopefully you guys learned something different. As always, make sure you give it a big one of these and leave one of those. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!